Well, greetings YouTube. Welcome to the first night Q&A. And before I answer some questions that I've printed out here, I want to just take a minute to explain what's going to happen in the next 8 days on the channel. So turn those bell notifications on, number one, because I'm going to be posting videos at 4 p.m., which is about sundown. And the significance of that is first night of Hanukkah. And if you're not familiar with Hanukkah, you don't have to be Jewish to celebrate it. In fact, it's not even in the Jewish Bible, the Torah. Hanukkah is post-Torah, but still very old, and it celebrates the freedom of the Jewish people, and basically the freedom to practice your religion. And the menorah represents that when they got back to their temple after Alexander the Great had conquered it, they only had enough oil for one night in their lamp, and actually it lasted 8 days, and that was considered a miracle. So enough preaching aside, let's get to the vacuums, because that's what you probably care about. Though I am going to put a link here as a card if you want to know more about that. It's an interesting history lesson at the very least. So I'm going to read some comments, but before I do that, I want to talk about what's going to be answered and what I'm going to do the next 8 days in terms of videos. I purposely have it dark here so you can't really see too well what I have here, but I've got some interesting stuff. Now, if you're a Patreon supporter, this is the good time for a Patreon supporter, because we're going to be doing a giveaway. One of these machines here is going to be given to a Patreon supporter, and I've got a full review video coming on it. I have a full repair video, and somebody's going to get a really sparkly, nice machine here. So, and if you're not part of our Patreon, anybody over $5 can join and to be entered in. And at the end of Hanukkah, the 8th day, I'm going to announce the winner. We're going to also have a New Year's special, because Hanukkah and New Year's fall on the same day, and you're going to see a Christmas vacuum, but no Christmas special. Just because I don't have time to film one. No offense to anybody who's super into Christmas, but I want to announce the giveaway now. There, it's fresh, it's clean, it's been serviced, it's got new gaskets, it's got a Koblenz HEPA bag that's going to go inside it. An idea just how clean this is. It is clean, hardly used when I got it, but of course that was something on my bench. It's got good brush strips. It's ready to go. It's got a new belt in it. It needs a new home. We are doing a giveaway. So this is going to be the giveaway machine for you Patreon supporters, which on New Year's into Hanukkah-ish, I'm going to, as part of our 8-day Hanukkah special, be giving this away to you with a HEPA bag in it, and it is a good little cleaner. I am just pretty happy about how it turned out. So somebody's going to be real lucky to have this, and it's made in Mexico. It does have the Chinese motor in it, so it's kind of an interesting transition period in sanitary history. This is well before Bissell was even trying to buy them. All right, so some lucky person's going to get that machine. So I'm going to start reading some comments here. And the first comment I want to get to is Craig's Clocks. And Craig, you comment all over the internet. You're awesome. Thanks for watching. And he asked, what is my favorite vacuum? It's really hard to say. The generic answer is going to be my central vacuum. But I'm going to do, on New Year's, I'm going to announce what I thought was my favorite vacuum, or the best vacuum of 2019. So I am going to talk about that in depth. And Craig also said here that he always goes to his Mila Twist or Cibo Felix. So it looks like Craig's Clocks is an upright guy. Very good uprights, good taste in vacuums, Craig's Clocks. The next thing I'm going to read is from Mr. David Perry, who always provides us with interesting comments. And I just half of your comments, Mr. Perry, they seem to go to the spam filter, so I don't know what you're doing, but half of them for some reason just go there. And he commented on the Beam Q100 repair video, which is an older video of mine, but I thought it was good. He said the best fix is to throw it away and get a Whistlework EBK 360 or Linhouse Stealth, and that is absolutely true. If you have a Beam Q100 hose system, throw it away and get a real thing. That's absolutely true. He also goes on to say that he likes the old Beam Rugmaster power heads, and he thought they were very high quality, the US made power heads. Now those US made ones, you'd have to go back to probably the 80s before they were made in the US. When they were made in the US. Come early 90s, they went straight to the Mexico factory, so that's something to note about those. Danger shoes. My parents just bought one for $2,200. I have a bad feeling about it, too late now. And he's referring to a door-to-door vacuum, particularly a Patriot, which isn't a bad machine, but you sure wouldn't pay that much for it. But that could apply to any door-to-door vacuum. So, as I've stated in the past, if you want a door-to-door vacuum, they come up on the second-hand market all the time. Go that route. Blue Sky 7777. Converting this thing would drive me nuts. Do you like Miele? And that is on a Kirby video of mine. And I think we all know that I love Miele. I love German stuff. I love anything European or anything made extremely well. I'm sorry if I butcher your name here. This next comment is Cruz Clevel. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. It's on a Miele S4000 video. And the statement is, "Hi, I have the same vacuum. Everything was good until the vacuum did not turn on. Do you know what is wrong? I noticed the air clean filter is dark. I recently put on. I checked the inner switch and it won't work. Could the cable be ripped?" So you have a Miele S4000 that strictly won't turn on. Gosh, those, I mean, if you have a Miele Carina, the machine's like 15 years old. So my first statement, as always, is I do not diagnose anything over the internet. I don't do that. I can guess, but my first statement is always go to your local dealer and see what they say, because when you're looking at it in person, you know, I personally can tell 1,000 things in 2 minutes, where over the internet, it just keeps me guessing. It's bad intel, basically, getting traveled over the internet. So yeah, you can send it to me. I do reviews for Patreon supporters and repairs for Patreon supporters, but my best advice is go to your local vacuum dealer. And a vacuum that age, if it's a motor or a cord reel assembly, something like that, it's going to be time to replace it, and they'll make you a trade-in, and you'll be happy with another machine for 15 years. So that's my answer on that. And a lot of these people, they use their, like, what seems to be their real name. I'm not trying to dox anybody, but they seem to use their real name. Mr. James Fonderen says, "Kinda dicky, this guy." Well, I sure am kind of a dick sometimes. I definitely am very blunt about everything going on in this channel. So, yeah, that's probably true. And then lacking comments. How to restore suction and change belt. And this is on a Bissell video. Step 1, don't. Real talk. I picked up much nicer machines than this one out of the garbage. When the average consumer will still, sorry, it's hard to read here, will be able to, that doesn't make a whole lot. Okay, your English composition there, English might not be your first language there. Purchase this kind of crap. The market is pretty much skewed unless you're in a vacuum enthusiast or are savvy. And so I guess the main lacking lacking grammar, and I'm bad at grammar myself, so no real harsh judgments here. Just saying in this case, I'm guessing what you're saying is don't restore suction on a Bissell, just throw it away. And well, I can't disagree there. Yeah, Bruce Solomon. However you pronounce your name, Bruce, I'm sorry. You watch my videos all the time for years, and you're an awesome guy, but I'm bad at pronunciation. But Bruce, And he says he loves the ending of my Walmart Bissell review. And I thank you so much, Bruce, and thank you again so much for your viewership and comments over the years. And Brian H., another person who is a big viewer, awesome guy. I talk to Brian H. Over Instagram all the time. Awesome dude. And he says, if you're vacuuming the whole house with this thing, God bless you. And he says in quotation. So I probably said that in my Bissell 2252 review. And I do have to say, if you're vacuuming your whole house with a Bissell cleaner, yeah, God bless you is right. Next is on a Dyson repair video. And this could be really any Dyson repair video. It's IDIY for you. And he says, inside that Cyclone assembly, emoji, the puking, bleh. Yeah, inside Cyclones, bleh. And then Rage X had one. This is from my my held review section. Vacuum Facts channel is super biased. He is either a paid Dyson or a Dyson fanboy. I think he means paid by Dyson. That said, your reviews are slanted the other way of the spectrum as well. Well, they most certainly are. I have no quandaries in saying that bagless vacuums are a bad idea. There's no reason, in my humble opinion, to buy a bagless vacuum 99% of the time. I can think of 1% reason why you'd buy a bagless vacuum, and that would be if you were doing a high volume pickup of something that doesn't produce dust. A great example of this is, if you guys are familiar with what airsoft is, I saw a cyclonic dirt devil being used at an airsoft place once, and I thought that made a lot of sense because they were picking up these BBs that don't create a lot of dust, and it's high volume pickup. That's one of the only times I think I've ever thought that a bagless vacuum would make sense. Another one I've seen is carpet installers, but I would disagree with that in that bagless vacuums, the new carpet fibers are actually probably pretty toxic, whatever's off-gassing on there, so I think you'd want a HEPA filter. And, you know, of course, OSHA agrees that it needs to be sealed HEPA filter. And then anyway, so the RageX goes on to say that, I'm going to sum this up because it's like a whole paragraph this guy wrote, and that always astounds me when I get a whole paragraph. He goes on to say that he believes that the Dyson stick vacuums pick up enough on their lower settings, and that's a farce. I see repeated on Reddit. I see it repeated all over the internet. A Dyson stick vac, even on the higher setting, is really not adequate for carpet pickup. It can be on the higher setting adequate for bare floor pickup, but again, on the lower setting, at least at a mile high, it is not adequate for pickup at all. So I would disagree with that, and we're able to test with the suction gauge that those numbers are not adequate as well on that. And that's something to mention. Next is Hooverlux. I love you, Hooverlux. You're awesome. And if you guys aren't familiar with Hooverlux's channel, he's out of the UK. He does restorations, all sorts of cool stuff. He's like a full-time YouTuber now, so go check his stuff out. He's really cool. The other one check out in the UK is Becco 1987. Another cool guy. Anyways. And he wrote that I like the way the water bin can be emptied easier than the Rainbow. No big lip on the edge or around it. And he's referring to a Hylon, and that makes sense. If you have a water basin, being able to open the top is a big advantage to a water basin vacuum. So I couldn't agree with you more, Hooverlux. And happy holidays to all of you. And thank you all for your viewership. And turn that bell notification on because subscriptions really don't mean anything. And I'm going to be posting it again for 4 p.m. the next 8 days. And then we're going to go back to a regular schedule. So again, thanks for your viewership, everybody. I'm going to do another Q&A session probably either on New Year's or when I announce the winner of the giveaway. So good luck to you all.